So say hello to my very janky Jeskai infinite combo that wins without attacking. I've been meaning to show this combo for what seems like an eternity, and today is finally the day. Hey everyone, Hex here, and today I've been making infinite copies of Dragonhawks and pinging my opponents to death in their end step without ever attacking. Firstly though, thank you all for watching, and go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button below if you haven't. But onto this combo, and it all revolves around Dragonhawk, Jackdaw Saviour and Visage Bandit. I'll see if you can spot it, but if not, I'll spoil it for you after I explain how Infinite Dragonhawks can win without attacking. You see, it's a 5/5 legendary flying dragon bird that when they enter or attack, you exile the top X cards of your library, where X is the number of creatures you control with power 4 or greater. You can play those cards until the end of your next end step, but if you don't, Dragonhawk deals 2 damage to your opponent for each card still in exile. Okay, do you see how we're going to go infinite? Well, it's because Jackdaw Saviour says whenever a creature with flying dies, return another creature with lesser mana value from your graveyard to the battlefield. So our plan is to make a copy of our original Dragonhawk, we're going to legend rule it, and then with your Jackdaw's ability, we're going to return a Visage Bandit from the graveyard to the battlefield. It's going to enter as a copy of your Dragonhawk, we're going to legend rule it, and when it dies, you're going to return another bandit from the graveyard to make another copy of your legendary bird. You can then just repeat this loop infinite times, all triggering your dragon's ETB effect. Fast forward to your end step, then you get to ping your opponent for 2 damage for each card you exiled but didn't play. It's a few hoops to jump through, but it works a lot more than it should. The rest of the deck can be played in whatever way you really want, but I've gone for a bit of a control-y style, but there are 2 important cards you don't want to miss out on. Firstly, Collector's Vault. You can discard your initial bandit easily, draw cards and make treasure, ramping your way up to your more expensive flyers late on in the game. It also helps our main way of forcing this combo, as we're going to be using push-pull. Pulling Dragonhawk and Jackdaw back to the battlefield is so much easier to combo off, and it is my ideal way of winning this game. Like I said, lots and lots of interaction in my version for all sorts of reasons in the best of 1 meta. I've got 23 lands and that is my deck. Okay, so this combo is wild. I just love the jankiness of it and pushing the limits of some more underplayed cards. Let me know in the comments below what you think of this combo, and if you wish to support the channel further, you can do so over on my Patreon, where I post extra footage and you get to have your name displayed in my videos like these folks have done so at the credit level. But without further ado, let's just jump straight into it and show how this combo works against actual opponents. Alright, on the play with our Jeskai Infinite Dragonhawk deck. Definitely a keeper here. We'll play our Elegant Parlor, Surveil into another land and say go. I have been meaning to play this combo for weeks. The meta's been very quick in best of 1, hence the play queue today. I might do some best of 3 games going forward. Let me know what you think about that. We'll definitely destroy Harbin here. This combo is pretty janky because it's quite expensive. You need some specific cards in specific orders, but I really wanted to show the world what this can do. Siege Veteran for our opponent. We will 3 steps ahead. That one. Alright. So we have some forwards kind of get out clause here against this what looks like a soldier deck. I don't want to just play Forge into Sunfall though. I want to start adding some of my combo pieces around to the board. Resolute reinforcements for our opponent. Main phase, getting around maybe counter spells. Yeah, let's pass the turn as we find a Smite, which is pretty nice. They do have a Mishra's Foundry, so what I'm going to do is just pass the turn here. I'm not going to Sunfall 2 1/1s, and then we'll just attempt to maybe smite that land. I've got my fingers crossed now that they do attack with that. That's something that I can't just Sunfall away. Would be nice as well if they put some more creatures onto the board. Looks like they're just going to explore onto their current soldiers. Fair enough. So this kind of combo is definitely one I like, in the fact that you just win on 1 turn and you don't even have to attack. So yeah, bear with me on this one. It does take a little while to get moving, and they do get in there with their Foundry, and we'll just get rid of that whilst we can. We go down to 17. We have a little bit of life gain in the deck with Helix and Second Saviour. There are 2 ways to win this game as we Sunfall their board. We're going to go for either reanimating all of our spells, our creatures, which is the one I prefer. All happens on 1 turn. Or you play your Saviour, you then next turn play the Dragonhawk then into a 0 cost Bandit if possible. It's quite hard to get the second one to work that way. 3 steps ahead here, not particularly great. Play our Jackdaw Saviour. We have a spare, so we can just chump with this if need be. We also have a 2-2. They do have another Mishra's Foundry, so I might want to block that. Who knows? We're looking for a Collector's Vault. Collector's Vault in this deck is amazing. Get to discard our combo pieces, get some treasure, draw some cards. It really accelerates our game plan. They're definitely playing around counter magic. Well, we're not really playing it. I do have 3 steps ahead. It's more so that I can copy my Dragonhawk if need be. And they do make it a 4-4. It's a little bit annoying. Sure. I think I'm just going to block their 2-2, take 4. We have a fair bit of interaction for our opponent's creatures, just not the land. Alright, down to 13. So we find another land. Alright, well, we'll just play our Dragonhawk here. And Lightning Helix, which I can't cast, unfortunately. But we do have a 5-5 on the battlefield, and probably best just to hold the Saviour back. And we will pass to the opponent. So we do have a 5-5 flyer in the way of whatever they want to do. I would be a little bit annoyed if they find a way to destroy my dragon here. Rescue Retriever, alright. 3-3 puts a counter on every soldier. I think the Rescue Retriever, when that was first spoiled all those months back, it's going to chump their 6-6. I thought this card was going to have a lot more play than it ended up having. I think it's pretty cool. In this particular deck, it's pretty nice. Another counter spell. I don't really see these as counter spells in this deck. I see them as card draw spells. I'm just going to pass the turn here. I mean, we just need it to draw into like a Sunfall or something. And I think that's what I'm going to look for. Tactician. I'm just going to let it go. I guess it pumps the team, but yeah, maybe I should have countered that. I just want to draw some cards with 3 steps ahead instead. They attack with... They don't attack with everyone. So I thought they were going to attack with everybody there. And I was going to have to chump their 7-7 with Dragonhawk. But in this case, I can just block their 3-3. We take 10. We go down to 3. They definitely should have attacked with that dog. We'll play 3 steps ahead. We're going to create a copy of our flyer. And we're going to draw some cards. I mean... There's a bandit, which we can discard. Okay, I mean, that seemed quite nice. We have to legend rule our Dragonhawk, but we do get some put into exile. There is another bandit. I think we've got lethal here, guys. I don't know if you can see the line. We'll play our Jackdaw Saviour here. Yeah, we have 7 mana. And although this hasn't been plotted, we can just play Visage Bandit here on the 5-5. Legend rule the 5-5. Bring back the other Visage Bandit from the graveyard due to the Saviour. And we can keep looping this now. We can do this as many times as we want. We've got infinite Dragonhawks now. Now each time they enter the battlefield, you exile a card. And at the end step, if you haven't played any of those exiled cards, it does 2 damage to your opponent. So they're on 18 life. We just need to exile 9 cards. They have a little bit of mana open. We'll just do this a few more times. So we can break the loop by copying our Jackdaw Saviour. And here are the exile cards, so you can actually see the deck now. Opponent can see our deck. I'm not going to... I mean, you could attack here with the Dragonhawk. I'm a little bit worried about like exile, target attacking creature, so no attacks. We don't need to. These are all on the stacks. And yeah. Boom, 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 boom. GG's opponent. Alright, on the draw. I mean, this is a really good hand as we have our Bandit. We have our Dragonhawk. Opponent with 2 ley lines. Okay, and Raucous Theatre. Sure, so we're up against some shenanigans here. That's what I like to see. We do have a Smite available if they want to sort of jam with something. Got to be careful a little bit of like turn 2 or turn 3 losses here. I know you can lose on turn 2 with Leyline on the battlefield. We'll go for our Scoundrel and just draw and discard. Get rid of a Bandit. So combo piece 1 in the graveyard. Just need to plot another one, potentially. Or just play it. Go for Scoundrel again. I love these Scoundrels. They're doing a lot in this particular deck. Sometimes you just want to make the treasures, though. Let's get rid of this 3 steps ahead. Collector's Vault. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. We'll just attack with 1. Keep 1 back. I'm not really sure what our opponent's up to, but I don't think that 1 extra damage is going to do much. Here comes Calyx. That's fine. And, ooh, we find another bandit. All right. Okay, we're a little bit screwed on land here. There's so much discard in the meta that I'm inclined to want to just plot my bandit here and get it out the way for later. We have our combo in our hand, so yeah, let's get this plotted. Now, all we need to do is get to 8 mana, and we should win the game, as long as we're still alive. Collector's Vault's going to help us massively to do that. Opponent with Detective Satchel. I mean, they're playing some spicy brew here. If we hit no blocks, I think we're just going to hit no blocks. I'm not really worried about Calyx at the second. I'm worried about, or my concern is getting to 8 mana. We can chump with these Scoundrels. Another Dragonhawk. Needed a land there really, but we'll go for Collector's Vault. We can still block Calyx and use Elspeth's Smite. Hope they don't have anything in their hands to save their Calyx. I think that's what we'll do. We'll crack a Clue. Make a 1/1 Thopter. And they're getting in there, yeah. So definitely going to take this opportunity to kill this Calyx with our Smite. Smite's not really doing much in our hand anyway. Yeah, let's just kill it now. In case they do anything to their creature and maybe my Scoundrel survives. Good thing about Scoundrel in this deck is if you play your Jackdaw Savior and the Jackdaw Savior dies, you get your Scoundrel back, which is pretty cool. We need all the lands, tapped or otherwise, so we'll just pass the turn here. Getting Calyx off the battlefield is important for us. If we draw a land next turn, we might just play, or we might anyway just play Dragonhawk, 5/5 flyer, and we have a spare one in our hand. So we're getting a bit of a Thopter beat down here, which is fine, and they can gain as much life as they want. I'm not really that bothered about that either. Let's get rid of a Dragonhawk. And Island's great. Alright, well we'll play Jackdaw Savior here. What's great here is if they kill this, we are just a push-pull away from winning now. In fact, we've just got lethal next turn with Dragonhawk. If they leave my Jackdaw Savior alone, I'm so used to this card dying that I'm expecting it not to be around on the battlefield. They have so much mana as they play Zimone and Dina. Right, they're up to some brew, which is fine. This is one of those decks where you kind of just want to ignore what your opponent's up to. Getting in there with a Thopter, well, I'm certainly not going to be blocking that one. Question is, do we just Helix? I don't think we need to at the moment. They have 2 mana open. Yeah, let's just Collector's Vault whilst we can. Get rid of our Jackdaw Savior, and this should be lethal this turn. Oh, there's a push-pull as well. Alright, so even if they manage to break up this combo, we've got push-pull for next turn. So Dragonhawk to the battlefield. This time we're just going to play our Visage Bandit onto our Dragonhawk. Legend roll it. Bring back a second Visage Bandit. And this is now a lethal loop. They could break it up by targeting my Jackdaw Savior. They have 2 mana open. And what's great here is it's actually quite quick to do this combo. Opponent's on 19 life, so we need to exile about 10 cards. We can always attack as well with the creatures, but there's no attacks available for us this particular turn. I'm not going to speed this up because we should have lethal in a couple of turns. They do have 2 mana open, so I'm just going to go a little bit more just in case they have any life gain shenanigans. That's awful when you do this kind of stuff and then they gain a couple of bits of life at the end. But you can break this combo up by bringing something back to the battlefield, in this case Charming Scoundrel. There are 12 triggers on the stack, 12 cards, and that's going to be about 24 damage to our opponent. So another win here. There's nothing they can do anymore. This is the combo in action. Absolutely love these kind of combos. It's so janky. And yeah, end step. They can't do anything about our Infinite Dragonhawk Jeskai combo here. Alright, on the draw we have our Bandit, which is amazing. And a fair bit of land, which is pretty nice, including Fountain Port. Okay, so this deck originally had Caretaker's Talent in it. It was really sort of leveraging tokens and drawing extra cards. But yeah, with the 12 combo pieces we needed, it just wasn't too feasible to get that to actually be a viable strategy. But by all means, if you wanted to make a deck like this, go for that plan. It does work quite nicely. Not attacking here into open Boros mana. Yeah, virtue of loyalty. I've played this game way too many times to know that something was up there. So we may actually be up against Boros tokens here, and I don't mind going up against control. Using something like push-pull, we can win in one turn, and hopefully we can just completely surprise them. This is a combo which I have never seen. So, opponent here is not doing anything. Oh, we'll just helix this 2-2 whilst we can. Looks like they are slow rolling this, which is exactly the kind of game we need in our to play, really. Okay, there's a Saviour. That's fine. So we've got Bandit in the graveyard. 4 mana. We can make some fish. I mean, there's not really much to do here. I don't just want to play a Jackdaw Saviour. I don't want them to exile it. That's the worst thing. I don't want them to go into Sunfall and get rid of these Saviours. It's better in our hand at the minute. But yeah, we're just going to... Alright, they're just playing Virtue. That's fine. We can Get Lost this if we want to, but I think I want to save Get Lost in case they play a Caretaker's Talent. Let's make a fish. The fish beat down here. Sure. I mean, I've won a fair few games without the combo just by beating our opponents down with flyers. Dragonhawk is such an amazing card. I have another Dragonhawk deck. It's a Raccoon Dragonhawk deck. I am definitely going to be showing that soon. It's really powerful, actually. Not a 2-2 on the battlefield. Just going to shoot that right now. Otherwise, it will get out of control. Could do with drawing some lands, though. Another Helix, fair enough. I mean, we are very much playing a control game here. So with the push-pull in our hand, we just want things in our graveyard. We're just going to bring it all back. Quintorius. Oh, that is frustrating. As much as I want to Get Lost Quintorius, I'm a little bit concerned that they will play a card that I want to kill even more with Get Lost. I was kind of hoping they were going to discover there. Let's get rid of their 3-2. Can we even leave Quintorius alive? I don't know. Collector's Vault, though, is the exact card we need. So let's just play it like this. We need to start drawing lands or start making treasures. I've actually changed my mind. I wasn't going to do that. Forgive me. I should just attack the opponent. I wasn't going to Get Lost there, Quintorius, but I changed my mind after the attack there. Okay. So we don't really have much going on. All will be one. See, that's the kind of card I wanted to kill. I'm really glad, though, we did take Quintorius there. Let's go for Charming Scoundrel. And, sure, we'll just discard the Jackdaw Saviour. Draw another land, which is fine. Alright, this is where you can see that the Collector's Vault is so vital in a deck like this. It's keeping the cards flowing. It's keeping cards we want flowing. Plus we're making treasures now. Okay, they have a Sunfall, but it's just three of our 1/1s, which is fine. All will be 1 triggers. We go down to 25. And we have our own board wiping Starfall Invocation. So originally I was playing Sunfall in this deck, but There was a couple of cases where I had a Dragonhawk on the battlefield, and actually returning that back to the battlefield is pretty strong, so I've gone for the invocation instead. Don't attack, opponent. This is a mistake if you attack. Okay, well, it's a mistake in the fact that I have Elspeth's Smite, but they might have just wanted to make that a 5/5, plus ping me twice with Orby 1 before they start attacking with it. I mean, they didn't know I had that, but I wouldn't have attacked there. Let's sacrifice one of these treasures here and draw a card. Another Collector's Vault and another Saviour. Alright. So we're looking for Dragonhawk and Bandit. And what I quite like is our opponent might just be running like sorcery speed board wipes. So we might be okay here. Definitely going to play the second Collector's Vault. And yeah, we're just going to do this every turn. Twice a turn. Drawing cards, getting rid of cards, making treasures. Don't have to worry about things like farewell. And yeah, I mean, at this rate, we're going to mill ourselves. That's probably what they're thinking. But I still just think they've just got a load of interaction in their hand. So let's get rid of Saviour. Let's use our Collector's Vault again. Another land. Alright, we'll get rid of land. Sure, we have 3 steps ahead now. So even if we manage to bring back our combo, 33 cards left in our deck, bring back our combo, we can protect it a little bit with a counter spell if need be. It's the Jackdaw Saviour, which is the card I'd worry about against things like Helix. But I think we'll just draw a card instead. Draw some cards, discard. We are digging like crazy here. Elspeth's Smite, Shivan Reef. Okay, well there's a Bandit, fantastic, we'll plot that. So we're literally a Dragonhawk away from winning this game. And we don't look like we're under too much pressure. They do have an Orby 1 though, so I am worried a little bit about that. Lockdown. Lockdown's kind of interesting as it would just decimate our board. Lockdown's a kind of get out clause if we're up against some kind of aggro quite quickly, although because it does take care of our Collector's Vaults. There's only one in the deck. And Mountain, alright. I mean, we're bound to find a Dragonhawk soon, I think. Another push-pull, alright. I mean, it might even get to the point where if the opponent does disrupt our combo, we can just pull it all straight back out the graveyard on the same turn. I'm actually going to get rid of the Starfall Invocation. I don't think they're playing creatures. I think they're probably playing Urabrask's Forge. And what we'll do here is plot this Bandit, and we'll play the other Bandit as a 0-cost creature. I kind of want them to start using some of their removal on this creature. I'd rather them use it on this than the Jackdaw Saviour. And you know that they've got something in their hands to deal with this. Maybe a Get Lost. Or a Helix, fair enough. Yeah, you just knew that they had something. I do think they've got a Forge in their hand, which would be quite backbreaking for us to deal with, especially with Orby 1 on the battlefield. Brotherhood's End, alright, well, we'll keep digging away. There can't be too many cards left in our deck here. We've got to get rid of the Brotherhood's End, get rid of Inspiring Vantage. Yeah. And I don't really want to get rid of the push-pulls just yet. I don't want them to show them what we're doing. So they've got 10 mana. Eternal Wanderer. Alright, I mean, that's going to hit us for 5 as our ETBs. Fair enough. Makes a 2-2. Alright, and I guess the Virtues are going to also trigger. Let's just go to end step before we Helix here. Let's do things correctly. Yeah, so they're going to do 2 more damage to us if they manage to put some counters on this 2-2. But they're going to be able to do this most turns now, so we've got to be mindful of that one. Be very mindful. So this is an absolute grind here as we find Charming Scoundrel. All right, so we have 3 draws this turn here because we're going to play Scoundrel now. Another target for our opponent to get rid of that removal from their hand. We're going to discard this Plains. See what's up. Another push-pull. Alright, well, let's draw and discard. Let's get rid of the Forge. So yeah, Collector's Vault, the kind of key or the glue of this deck, holding it together, making sure that we can hit all of our spells. 18 cards left in our deck. 18 cards. There is 4 Dragonhawks down there. And we'll go for the Eternal Wanderer. See if they have like a smite or something, which is what I was worried about earlier, which they don't. Okay, we can use our Fountain Port as well if you want to start drawing with our treasures. This is getting kind of crazy. The odds seem stacked a little bit against us not having a Dragonhawk so far. Here comes Helix on the Scoundrel. I wonder if they just drew that. Okay, they make another 2-2. We're going to have to start taking damage now. So 2-2 goes to end step. 2 counters from the Virtue of Loyalty. Opponent may feel like they've turned a corner, but we're surely going to hit a Dragonhawk. There it is. There it is. All right. We'll just go for it. We'll go for Dragonhawk here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through attacks to second main before we fire off push pull. Just in case they find a way to remove this, we can just bring it straight back out. No? Okay, well, let's just go for the win. We're going to pull out the Jackdaw Savior, and I guess we just pull out a Scoundrel. Doesn't really matter too much. If they kill any of this, we can just pull it all back out of the graveyard. We have so much mana. And this is the combo. They can disrupt it by killing the Jackdaw Savior. They've used a fair few Helixes because we've kind of baited them into those. Who cares about this charming Scoundrel? Guess we'll just make a treasure. And we'll just play the Bandit that's been sitting in our plot zone forever. Copy the Dragonhawk, keep the original. Bring back a Bandit. Copy the original, and here's the loop again. So once this gets going, it's extremely difficult for your opponents to stop. I think the opponent's got a couple of Sunfalls in their hand here, and they were looking to win with the Eternal Wanderer and all be one. It looks like we're going to get there. So yeah, on the janky scale, this is definitely up there. I think it's just because these cards are so expensive, and there's not really much more you can do with these cards. There are some combo cards with Visage Bandit, and I really love Jackdaw Savior. I think it's such a cool card. In fact, all the birds from Bloomburrow have been excellent. Yeah, opponent sees the writing on the wall and scoops it up.